Adelaja. We're having a great move of God here in this place. The foreign students are giving us a wonderful session. Give us something. Lead them in something like you did when I just came in. Or Joshua if she's sleeping.
I surrender.
All right, guys. So who is going to handle the camera? Frank has to be in the picture now. No, you have to be in the picture too. So, what you do? This way. All right, Anastasia McDonald and my queen in Kiev here.
Camera doesn't catch you. Can you please squeeze a little bit? Yeah, squeeze.
Show him so that they know that it's a picture we are taking. Babush,
Yes.
show him from the back.
Okay, one more shot. And now, show us how much you like this training. Excellent. Okay, so please let's bring the chairs to initial position.
So now we're about to start the class today, and the class today is going to be unusual. The class today is going to be unique. The class today is going to be unique. The class today is going to be about Nigeria. We are going to be having the National Transformation presentation today, presenting about Nigeria, about the national transformation. So I'm going to be encouraging all of you to call on everybody that you think might be interested, and you need to copy this particular session and this particular message, and you need to copy, make sure you have a copy of this, and not just a copy but a recording, because this is the document. This is going to be the documented version of national transformation, what it's all about from A to Z. So we are going to be displaying that and demonstrating what Pastor Sunday is going to Africa to do. So it's going to be about the African plan, starting from Nigeria, how to restore Africa, how to restore Nigeria back to glory. So we are getting ready. The students are getting seated. And so we are getting ready right now. And in a few minutes, we're going to start the presentation about the Nigerian transformational agenda, transformation project. So we are getting set for that. I hope you people have all enjoyed the worship session. I have not witnessed African worship, I don't know, for so long. I don't get to see it here. So I don't get to have an experience like that. We have an African church in Kiev, but I never ever go there, only on the anniversary, just to congratulate my wife and go away. So that was refreshing for me. But I wonder why they don't sing African songs anymore. I was thinking it was American. But it was good enough for today because our audience on Facebook is international. So, nada suda brasada. Okay. I think we need to get out of the way. We are going to be showing a screen. And yeah, is Frank anywhere close? Nada de which could mistake. Then you are going to block the camera. Nada perimistim noga kavo. Puska is the package. Okay, so we're about to. Start. So I'm going to undo the camera over to Frank. Frank is our all able, all capable cameraman. Yeah, that's Boss Frank there. Start with the title. Can you hear me at all?
So can you start? Yes.
Okay, can you hear me at all? So you can hear me? Oh, good, because I hear you very well. Are you also seeing me? Are you seeing me as well? Can you see me?
Oh yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
And your wall with the projector shining on it.
That projector was supposed to be showing you. Okay, Igor, is there any way you could make it? You could make, show the hall, the class again. Let him see the class first. Nada pato redactiro Nada obrazio liczne. Yes, well, we are hard workers. Ale co to jest liczne? Oh, I want you to help me paint a picture to them about what we are putting in place regarding Nigeria, and what are some of the projects, and what are some of the work that we are already doing, your team and the team you put together, and what are the kind of things that I'm telling them that we are going to see a new Nigeria in our lifetime, and that Nigeria is going to be transformed. And this is not just about religion, but we're talking about economic transformation, social transformation, and national development as a whole. And so working for over a year now to just make Nigeria work, and about your commitment to our country and to the continent of Africa as a whole. So, Brother John, please, here you come. You have the word.
I will. You interrupt at any time you wish, Pastor.
Okay.
But I'll describe to you what we have developed as a vision and a plan. And of course, it is all subject to your final agreement once we meet and go over it in detail and in person.
Yes, sir.
But we do see Pastor's summary of the vision as very accurate. That is, we are going to see Nigeria transformed in our lifetime.
Amen.
And we are going to see the kingdom of God in every one of those 750
local governments
being literally and following way if our team in Nigeria agrees with it.
Yes.
We will deploy teams of 2 people each in each of the seven districts. And they will have the job to take the gospel of Jesus Christ to the people in that district. 5 years on the average for each team to reach every person in the district. They will start with doing, and once they... We regard as 5 very important priorities for each and every person in Nigeria. Of course, the first one is to know who Jesus Christ is, and it is through him that this transformation effort is taking place.
Yes.
Whether they or in the northern provinces, that is of no interest. We will still take the gospel to every leader and every person in the course of this 5-year period. There is a second priority then. We will say we want to help you address or to deal with the most important crises that exist within your area. Are there people who don't have clean water? Are there people who don't have adequate housing or clothing or food to eat, or who need a job, or who are recovering from a disaster or terror wars or a conflict of any kind on the civil basis? Or are there people who are displaced and have humanitarian emergencies that must be addressed? If there are, we want to make that our first priority for being of assistance to you. The second priority is that we want to deal with what we call chronic deficits. That is civil conflict, displaced people, corruption, addiction, and other problems. And in order to do so, we not only have monetary assets that we will bring to bear to either build housing or provide food or the other things, but we will also offer training. Everyone wants to do a project to help the people of Nigeria, and that is the most important thing, is to live out Matthew chapter 25, verse 40, where Jesus says, if you do this for the least of these, then you're doing it for me. So we want to reach out to the most needy people first, and then work our way up the chain to those who have economic opportunities and other things that they can offer. And in that training, we will offer an 8-part training program that will take, if, for example, a county executive or a district executive wants to do a new bridge or a new building or a new park in his community, whatever, we will say, we'll let you plan that project, but we also want you to go through the training that we have that relates to this. The training will focus on the 7 important parts of making the kingdom of God a reality in that community. From a biblical world, you stand to God who created heaven and earth, then from the standpoint of building the economy, then from the standpoint of improving education for all to receive, then the needs of the family and what a kingdom of Jesus family looks like, what a kingdom of God government looks like, what a kingdom of God media looks like, and lastly, what a kingdom of God church looks like. The training will cover 497 topics. It'll take 124 hours. So we basically are going to take them for a month and put them through interactive training that acquaints them the why of what we're doing and why we believe Jesus wanted to reach out to them through this effort. Our next priority is to clean up environmental disasters and modernize the infrastructure where we need to build or improve roads or clean up the water in a river, lake, stream, or harbor area, or clean up the air in a community. We want to provide the resources to do that and employ people who will do that work. We want the best for the people of Nigeria in what they all share as communities, rivers, commerce, clean air, clean harbors, and beautiful communities. And if we can meet those priorities, and we have money allocated for each one of them, the last priority we'll address is to do economic development projects that are going to produce jobs and employment. There are 13 economic sectors where this work will take place, and each province of Nigeria will have money allocated to it in each of these categories. But they must submit the projects to use that money. And if they don't meet our very difficult, stringent criteria for a project that is best practices on the world standards, sustainable, produces jobs, benefits the people, benefit the community, and will be there 50 years from now, we're going to say work on it some more until it meets those criteria, and when it does, we're ready to interrupt the funding. But we want projects in the agricultural area. We want projects that enrich the culture and history of each community. We want ones that do economic development. We want ones that do education, vocational training, and human capital development. We want ones that develop the energy infrastructure of the country in every community, as well as at the national level. We've actually allocated money at the national level for the national power grid upgrade and for power plant modernization. The next category is environmental cleanup. The next one you'll love is healthcare. We want to deliver the best healthcare that Nigeria have ever had. The best hospitals, the best community clinics, the best training for doctors to address the epidemic of cancer head on. We have a company that has a technology for dealing with cancer that if it is accurately diagnosed, that is the location of cancer accurately diagnosed, it is 100% effective and is done on an outpatient basis. It takes less than 4 hours with a follow-up visit in a month to 6 weeks to make sure it's all gone. And we've looked at tragic reports of the incursion of cancer among the people of Nigeria, especially breast cancer for women, which are heart-rending. Literally, when Pastor Sunday and I talked earlier today, I was meeting with his good friend, Bishop Terry Millender, explaining the cancer treatment process and showing him photos of the tragedy of cancer that is untreated and undealt with. We want to transform the health situation, especially in the cancer area and across the board for every one of the 170, 200 Nigerians. The next area of support beyond that is developing the manufacturing sector, where there are existing plants that either can be reopened or modernized. We want to do that. Where there are new plants that are needed that'll produce jobs all throughout country, and we've allocated money for manufacturing to every single province, we want to build those plants. The next area is natural resources development. Where there are natural resources that need to be further developed, we want to invest in doing that with good enterprises, good jobs, and Nigerians controlling their resources, not anybody else. As you know, there is a big battle underway in Nigeria for who controls the oil. There are certain countries from Asia that want to do that. And they're offering loans to Nigeria in exchange for mineral rights. We don't agree with that approach. We offer grants to Nigeria in exchange for Nigerians retaining the mineral rights all through the country. The next area of development that we envision is the rural areas. Farm communities, country roads, internet, all the things that are needed to make the rural areas as healthy economically as the cities are healthy. And the next area is the services sector. We want to train people in the best practices in any one of the service industries so that Nigeria is a model for Africa in what is being done in retail, wholesale trade, and all the many services that are there, and provide good wages for people who work in the services sector, and always that takes investment to get to that point. The next area of development is transportation. Every single province will have a budget for building up its transportation infrastructure, developing new roads, new bridges, and other things, in addition to money that's available at the national level for transportation. The last area is urban development. That is the cities, the parks, the government structures, the infrastructure, the things that make the urban areas as appealing as they possibly can on the best standards. County or district of Nigeria. We've done this in other areas in what was the former Soviet Union. Offer the opportunity to the local community to do the things that are needed. They are very responsive. And where communities are not responsive, if we tell them what's going on next door in another community, and what the other leaders are doing for their people, they are more interested in helping their own people, because the publicity that's going to the next county over, the next district, is too much for them to bear when their people hear this. And the man seated in that big pink chair will be the best spokesperson for these kinds of progress and changes, so that we can let everyone know this case and encourage it in every one of the 757 districts. Now, there are 3 or 4 projects that are what I'll call national level projects that I'd like to describe to you briefly. And we have these already done in proposal form with our friends who are managing these things, but you should know about them. The first is a data system that all of this information from each of the districts will put into. And it'll enable us to do what we call a needs assessment. So if somebody wants to come in and build an airport in a district and there's already an airport, we'll expand the current airport, not build a new one, and make it modern and new. But we need a system that will collect the data from all the teams and all the officials and all of the people who want to do projects, so that they can go through a systematic development process on the projects that they want to do. That will be run on the internet, each one of those, as well as trustees and project managers, so that we can develop the best projects possible in the fastest period of time. Now, once a project reaches the standard of being best practice, good design, effective use of money, job producing, and all the other criteria that are important, we will approve that project. It'll match the scoring criteria in the system and be then moved over to another data system that will be based out of the Caribbean and will be responsible for transferring the money to projects. This system is so sophisticated that it can even do the payroll for building a new airport in a province or district, down to the level of the person doing the work on the job. So every employee not only has to go through the training, but they must have a bank account into which money is transferred as they go through each pay period. It'll go directly into their accounts. The reason being, we are confronting corruption head on and eliminating corruption in the Republic of Nigeria in Egypt. And the best way to do that pay suppliers directly, and work with local trustees who are honest in approving that the work that's been done is exactly what was promised and that the materials furnished are what was promised. Now, an important element of these projects is that the local people should be prepared to contribute a part of the cost of the project. It can be in the form of land, it can be in the form of materials, it can be in the form of security, and we must have security for projects, because if they allow terror groups to come in and stop a project, we will shut it down. Or if we get reports of corrupt, it will be shut. So we must have local cooperation to match the resources that are being provided so that everyone has a stake in the success of that project. And when it's completed, we will have a celebration joining together the people who did the work and the people who are going to benefit from it, and celebrate the outcome of that work in a very visible way and televise it all through the country so that everyone knows what's been accomplished. Another of the national projects that you'll find interesting is what we call street and highway lighting. We are basically going to take all the street and highway lighting off the national power grid and come in with a system that will not only include the most advanced liquid electronic display lighting, but it will include wind power and solar power to power that lighting with batteries in each installation to support the lighting, so that the power grid is not carrying any more of the public lighting, and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And in addition, there are 140,000 kilometers of roads in Nigeria. We are going to see every one of them lit up. And on that same installation, there will be internet, Wi-Fi connections, security where it's needed. If it's a sensitive area, there will be cameras that can detect local security problems. There will also be tracking devices for sounds. If you say you have an oil port where somebody's coming to try to come in and take it by force, this will even tell you where the gunshots are coming from and report it to a national command center so that it can be stopped before it starts. Now, if there's an emergency, like a big typhoon comes in or a tornado or something else, this same system will be an independent communication system to every community in Nigeria, so that the president could, in one announcement, tell everyone in the country what has happened, what's being done about it, and how steps are being taken to be able to mitigate any adverse effects of any event, whether it's man-caused or weather-caused or whatever it is. This doubles as a new communication system while it provides internet connection to every village, town, building, room, floor, and family.
Now, sorry, John, could you please start that part again? The national grid and the electricity, the lighting of the roads, all the highways, all this last piece, segment of the presentation, could you start again? Because we're having some challenges here a little bit. So start that afresh, please, with the national grid.
There are 140,000 kilometers of roads and highways in Nigeria. We want to provide new and independent lighting for every one of those roads and highways. We also want that lighting to be powered away from the national power grid, because the power grid is already overloaded with public lighting requirements that it can't carry without being expanded dramatically. We do want the power generating capacity to be expanded, but we want this lighting system to be independent of the national power grid and generating capacity, because we want that new capacity to be used for new industries, new jobs, new homes, and new manufacturing facilities where they're needed. And we want to use wind power and solar power to power each of the poles that are carrying this lighting. Each of those poles will have what we call a Christmas tree on top of it. It'll be a concrete pole 36 feet high, 12 meters, or higher in mountainous areas, and on top of it will be an aluminum cap that carries not only the batteries to store the power from the wind and the sun, but also the electronics to power the lighting and a communication system that will be linked up through the entire country. So it'll provide internet connectivity to every single area of the country, Wi-Fi communications and emergency communications, and it will be independently powered so that if the generator plant goes out in that area, you'll still have lighting on the streets, you'll still have communications. And it can be tied back into a national command center that monitors weather, other events, so that people have advance warning of any adverse events that are about to unfold and what can be done about it. So it doubles as a national communication system as well as a lighting system. We have the option of adding signage for all the roads, lit signage and other things, but we wanted to do first the lighting to make Nigeria literally the light of Africa in two ways. Not only in the character of the people, but also the lighting on it, streets, cities, and towns. Does that help?
Yeah, but you left out the section about the security.
Yes. In important areas that must be secure or are in danger of attack by outside people, whatever the cause is, we will have hidden security cameras that are not known to anybody but the authorities, and we will have noise tracking devices so that any steps that are taken by terrorists or thieves or criminals, whatever, we will have it on video, and if they use weapons, we'll know what weapon was fired and where it was fired from, because we'll have these tracking devices that will be able to isolate the location and noise in that way.
And that is going to be, this security is going to be mounted together with the lighting system and the communication system on all routes and high roads.
Correct. The next area that we want to do work in is to demonstrate ways of cleaning up groundwater, especially where the oil companies have come in and destroyed the groundwater, the underground water, the rivers, or the streams. And we have a technology that we would like to bring over, and if it works to the satisfaction of the environmental authorities in Nigeria, we can expand its use. But we wanted to do a demonstration project in the worst groundwater conditions in Nigeria, and if it restores the biological balance and the drinkability of that water, and you agree, then we make that technology available for use throughout the country. And the last project that we've submitted a proposal on that we think you will like is this cancer treatment project. The basic plan is to come in and train whatever doctors are interested in being involved in cancer treatment on the use of this system, to provide support for them in the form of the machine that runs it, and then to inventory the supplies that can be used to do cancer treatment throughout Nigeria, starting with breast cancer and then moving into other areas as we overcome the breast cancer epidemic that's already underway. I just gave our mutual friend, Bishop Millender, a report on the incidence of breast cancer in Nigeria, and it's tragic what has happened because people cannot get good treatment on a timely basis or good diagnosis. So we have a company in California that has developed a very reliable treatment system that we would like to enable to bring into Nigeria and use Nigeria as the springboard for cancer treatment throughout Africa once it's demonstrated there and accepted. Now, these are hard things to implement in areas where doctors want to earn a lot of money, or they want to put you on chemotherapy that costs many thousands of US dollars and other things. So we are basically working around them to provide a low-cost, highly effective treatment system that uses what's called cryoablation. That is, a needle probe goes to the area of the cancer. It's detected by sonogram, and the needle probe is positioned right in the middle of that cancer tumor, and then it freezes that tumor for a stipulated period of time and then gradually unfreezes it so that all the cancer cells are killed and absorbed into the bloodstream, and then the needle is withdrawn. So it's a 4-hour treatment. It requires a Band-Aid on the area where the needle was inserted, and the patient leaves on the same day they came to the doctor's office, and they don't have to take anything except a painkiller for a half a day, and then they come back and get it checked after a month. It is so good that we want the people of Nigeria to benefit from it as a part of this. So that gives you sort of an overview, and the man seated in that beautiful chair at the head of the room has ideas that go far beyond ours, but we want to know that where we can help him and help you to succeed, we are interested in seeing that occur and then celebrating the results together.
Any questions from the hall, from the auditorium? Anybody want to ask? Yes, please.
This is Ladi Shorokan. I'm more interested in what's going on in the healthcare field. I'm more interested in knowing what's going on in the healthcare field. Are we talking about improving the primary healthcare and leaving the secondary and the tertiary to the federal government and the state government?
We are talking about local leaders taking a leadership role in improving primary health care. In some areas of the world, we think that is through local clinics that treat inhabitants of the village on an individual basis and serve as the channel for the provincial or regional hospital system. But in most areas, our concern is there is not good primary care available outside the major cities, and so we would like to make primary care the top priority, including even building clinics, for example, where they are needed in small villages and towns where people have a place to go to get help from a physician's assistant, a small pharmacy, and a treatment area. Plus, we would add to that clinic a little meeting room so that the community has a place that they can gather and meet socially or otherwise when the healthcare clinic is not in operation. So it serves two purposes. And we've seen examples in Ukraine, for example, of the old communist buildings that can be converted to clinics and again be welcomed as places where people want to go and meet and get healthcare treatment and get medicine when they need it. We want to follow the same model in Nigeria of local clinics that treat people on a primary care basis toward preventive care and good primary care to lower the incidence of serious illness and other problems once you go up. Now, there is also money, and this is the healthcare area. We've allocated $80 million to projects down to each of the 35 provinces. So each province would have anywhere from $1 to $8 million to put into clinics, training, whatever they want to do to improve the health of their people. and to then monitor that health so that we see the improvements occurring over time.
Just wanted to know if there's any inclusion for air ambulance. Air ambulance.
Air ambulance can be done. It would be more of either a provincial or national level project. It would be funded out of the contingency money if that was a high priority. But we'd let local leaders make that decision.
Okay. Any other question?
Thank you very much. Having heard all this, it sounds so beautiful. And is it possible to know when is this thing taken up and how long do you think it's going to take? 5 years, 10 years?
The entire thing will take probably 5 and 10. The deal that we will make is this will all be funded by a trust fund. And the trust fund will retain a piece of ownership of the projects because they want to follow that project for the next 50 years throughout its entire life. So we're not looking at going in and making a big splash in a week. We're looking at a 50-year friendship and relationship to benefit the people of Nigeria in every single case.
Any other question? Another person has to ask another question. Yes, please.
I'd like to know if the cancer treatment has been used in any other country.
You mean this process we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes. We are about to start it in Ecuador. We are going to do it in Dominican Republic. And so there's some Western Hemisphere countries. We actually have 9 pilot areas of the world that we are going to do it. Canada, United States.
She's talking about the cancer treatment. The cancer treatment. The one you spoke
It's
about.
already being done in certain areas of the United States, and we want to use Nigeria as the springboard to India and other countries around the world for that cancer treatment. We want you to be the leaders in the international sector.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This appears to me to be a parallel government in terms of the scale of the operations that you are going to do. My interest is how are you going to coordinate with the federal government to be able to run these projects? I'm making an assumption that some of the interventions that you plan to do, probably the federal government might also have planned to do them. So how are you going?
They could well. Yes, that's a very good point. We will have a staff that I'm hoping you are part of that staff in Nigeria.
It's not your life.
We have them here. We have them here.
I know, and I know of no better people to coordinate with the federal government. And the man at the back of the front of the room walking back and forth has great relationships at the national level, as do other people in that room, I'm sure, and it all must be coordinated. The difference is we are working from the bottom up, not from the top down. Every world development project that's been done to date has gone in and said, we'll give you a loan to do a project in an area. And what happens is the loan is put in somebody's pockets, the project is never done, and the people never benefit from it. So that's why we're working at the district level back up for all of our project development with money set aside for national projects in power generation, economic zones, and other things of national interest while we work locally from the bottom up.
I appreciate the concept of bottom up because it enhances participatory community participation. How different is your approach going to be from the one of the development agencies, because I'm aware that there have been a lot of interventions, say, from the World Bank and others that also attempt to use a participatory approach like you are going to use.
Well, we are talking with the World Bank. They are interested in what we're recommending, and we do have meetings planned with them. In fact, some of the money may be money that is available through the World Bank and through other sources that have been developed. But we're emphasizing local development more than we are emphasizing large-scale things that are only done by a few people. And that's how we're evaluating projects, and that's how we're scoring them, because we want to see local trustees, engineers, and citizens leading this effort, not a few bureaucrats either in London or Frankfurt or Lagos. We want the people in the cities of the Delta, the Cross River, the Borno, the Benue, the Bayelsa, and others to be the ones providing the leadership, because we think the best results will come that way.
Excellent. I'm really glad to hear about the participation of the communities and the people themselves there, because I was afraid of elite capture. The people who are there capturing the opportunity and denying the real local people from benefiting. But also,
which you are exactly right, and that's why probably 40% of the world's people are living in conditions that you and I do not regard as adequate, because the elites have captured the money and the control, and the people have not gotten the benefit.
Maybe to seek your indulgence finally, I'm still more interested in the system of dealing with corruption, because that's really our nightmare. Yes, I heard you talk about setting up a banking system where it's easier to pay the workers via the bank. But apart from that, are there any other mechanisms in place to deal with this problem of corruption?
Yes, we are going to have third-party experts evaluate projects, assure that the budgets are realistic, assure that there are no elements or areas of the budgets that could be subject to corruption, assure that the suppliers are reliable, and watch the work. If it's a big project, we'll have full-time people watching the work and approving the progress against the budget and schedule of what needs to be done, so that we're only paying the people who are doing the work. And if corruption gets in the way of it, we will shut the project down with the concurrence of the leadership team in that area, because we are not going to tolerate corruption in any form or at any level.
Mine is just to appreciate you and say thank you. Okay. Mine is not. Mine is not the question. It's just to appreciate Pastor Sunday, that thank you so much. I believe that these are the cry of the Nigerian people for God to send a deliverer, for God to say somebody will come and help us to change Nigeria. So I just want us to appreciate him and say thank you so much.
We think it's what God wants all of us to do, and obviously you agree.
Hello, sir. My name is Lola Shironki, and I want you to correct my thinking about what I thought I heard you say. When you were talking about paying out, you also talked about some money that was that people could pay in form of money, a little fee, or they could sell land. Could you clarify that, especially the land parts?
Well, if we are going to say build a new school in a district, we're going to look to the district to provide the land for that school. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, what if the individual has lands all over the place?
Well, an individual land available for a contribution to the project. Usually projects are designed to work for the community, not for individuals.
Yeah.
And for example, if a person owned land that we wanted to put a new road or a new school in, they would be paid for their land to be purchased to enable that project to go and not be treated unfairly in that process.
All right, then. Thank you.
Is that the issue that you're concerned about?
Yeah, also I wanted to know if, you talked about if the individuals contributed the land. How does that work?
Not individuals.
Oh, communities. Okay. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Lands are going to be bought from individuals, but he's talking about community participation, participatory of the community that they don't own the school, own the hospitals, all that, so that they will be interested in seeing it as their own, rather than seeing it as somebody's own, so that they would now be interested in protecting it from the hooligans and the bandits and the,
Exactly. Now, there's one result of all this that I should point out. The gentleman with the microphone has this beautiful head of black hair. As you notice, my head is all white hair. So when this project is done, he will have white hair as
Good day. My name is Obio Jimadu. Online, a lot of people are ecstatic about what is going on, and they're having lots of questions. But to get dead cow, let me throw up this question. What kind of system of checks and balances do you have to make sure that this project is not ruined by the same people who are going to lead and to implement the same program? Please, I would like you to really be specific and underline it, let people be calm and not take this as another white elephant project.
Yes, good question. When a project is put together, we have a 10-part project formulation system. And it includes not only if it's, say, a new school or a facility that's got to be built, it includes the estimates and the designs and everything that must be done and the standards to which it must be built. Those standards will be reviewed by experts either within Nigeria or outside of Nigeria to make sure that it's the best design, the best budget, the best materials list that you can have, and that it is followed rigorously as the project is developed against a schedule and against a vast reference library of what we call best practices. So if you're opening a new store that sells shoes, you'll even be able to find out how to set up your inventory, how to train your customers, how to train your employees, how to treat your customers, and every aspect of that operation being done in the right way. And the big system that enables this to be done is that project leaders will have access to this so that they can reference those best practices and apply them in the local community. And then we will monitor through this big payment system how the project is doing over time. Because as I mentioned, we're looking for a 50-year partnership, not a one-time effort that doesn't result in good and benefit to everyone.
Well, I think what Obi wants to also know, I think you have mentioned that a little bit. You need to point that out again, that we are having a separate budget and we are creating a team, a budget to create teams in every of the states and every of the local governments, that we are going to train people on specific kingdom principles and training materials, the number that you mentioned, the number, and that people are going to be trained on ground. And these people are going to be participating in monitoring and overseeing the work that's going to be going on ground.
Yes, indeed. That's a good summary.
Yes. Can you also, please, the first project, I want you to just have a quick run over all the major projects again. You just the quick run. The first thing you mentioned is the fact that we are presenting Christ. The second one you mentioned is the emergency needs of the community and of the provinces and of the people. Just go through the whole thing again, please.
Okay. First is sharing the gospel. The second is addressing the crisis needs, i.e. lack of water, food, shelter, clothing, or a place for people to be in an emergency. The third is what we call chronic deficits, problems arising out of displaced people groups, civil conflict, terror, corruption, addiction, and others.
Okay.
And we actually have a program for the addiction problem as well.
Now, would this cover
environment and modernizing infrastructure?
Before you talk about the environment, would this also cover the most acute need in Nigeria now, which is feeding? And feeding is not just for displaced people. There are just a large percentage of the country that is acutely poor. And you know, is there going to be any food provision or feeding program that we could just, like a relief system for the poor people to start with before we could set them up in business and in microfinancing?
Yes, indeed. And there is money set aside for those contingencies in every single province. I can give you the number of US dollar equivalents by province if you want them, but I don't think you want to take that time tonight.
Do you have it just in front of you right now?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
The total contingency money is 690 million US dollar equivalents in Naira. And for example, the Aba province has $1.4 million to use for contingencies for any place that they need to feed people or meet crisis needs or do things that will forestall problems in their population. Every single province has an allocation like that.
Okay.
And it totals $690 million.
Excellent. Go ahead, please.
And then to pick up the priorities, the environmental cleanup and modernizing infrastructure is number 4, and number 5 is the 13 economic development sectors, whether they be agricultural cooperatives, new power plants in provinces, or whatever. There's money allocated in each of those 13 sectors to every single province to do the projects they regard as most important. In cooperation with their district leaders.
Can you mention the 13 sectors again, please?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah, please go through the list of the 13 sectors.
Oh, okay. Here are the categories where money has been allocated to each province. National training, that is to give the training to the people involved in the projects. The second is national staff. This is what pays the distinguished people in the room as well as every single district. The third is staff at the provincial level. The fourth is support at the provincial level if engineers are needed or doctors are needed or whatever to staff healthcare programs. That support would be available through that budget. The next area is the national power system, that is generating plants and the national grid. The next area is economic zones where more than one province is involved on a cooperative basis. We can provide money for that. Then we go to agriculture, culture and history, economic development, education and human capital, energy development, healthcare, manufacturing, natural resources, rural development, services, transportation, urban development, and then contingency money. Down to the level of every single province on each item, based on population.
Excellent. Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right, yes.
It's the first time I've ever known Pastor Sunday to be speechless. This is one of the richest men of the Lord's word I know, and I've never heard that much silence from him at any time we've known each other for 20 years.
Yes, I'm at awe at what God is about to do in Nigeria, and I'm happy that it's not just my words anymore. People don't just have to take my words for it, but they should also see that there are other people who are working day and night on this, and that things are moving, even though we are not discussing what the government is doing. This is not political, this is not having anything to do with the government right now, but this is just what our team is putting together by the grace of God. So, well, thank you so very much, John. And you did a great job, and we are looking forward to when God will open the door for us to move into Nigeria.
Thank you as well. Please don't blame me for Pastor Sunday keeping you up so late tonight, though. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Okay, let's put it. And then show you fabrications. And then you talk about that stuff.
And let me tell you about
this second another
for the transformation of Nigeria and Africa. All right. You have the microphone?
This is the second part.
Okay. Okay, you see now that here you have okay, go ahead.
Vision.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. All these are my strategies, and they are too complex for you. The system, this one not be the system, is a little bit more complex than the one I taught you this morning. So I don't want to confuse you, so go ahead. It's also too complex for you, go ahead. Okay, this one is easier, These are blocks of spheres of influence that we must penetrate when we go to Nigeria. Okay, go ahead. All right? So this is just a preliminary draft. Summary. This is just a summary of the plan. Go ahead. Okay, now we are starting here. There are actually 775, I think. Oh? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's say we have this amount of local governments in Nigeria, right? 774. Local governments. Now, for those who are not from Nigeria, we have central government or federal government. Then we have state government. Then every state government has what we call local government or district. Are you understanding that? That is the lowest form of government. The closest to the ordinary people. So each local government will have like a town or two towns. Towns. Normally one big town, and all others are smaller villages, some small, some big, but one or two towns. Normally not more than one or two towns. Others are just villages. So it's quite local, but close to the people as well. So my dream and my idea is this: to start projects in every one of those local governments. So let's say we have 36 states in Nigeria, and that's how many we have. 36 states, but every state have nothing less than 15, maybe 10 local governments. Some states have 10, 15, 13, 18, 20, 23, 25, something different. So if we have, what states are you from? Lagos State. Let's say you come from Lagos State, and we have
Ooh, wow. Ooh, look who came to see her. Laya and Charles. Hey, Mr. Charles Emmanuel. You will enjoy you. How will you let some of that your pot? Eh? You didn't have it the last time you were there. Something has happened. God, they take care of you now. Yeah, thank God, thank God. You come and lay hands on me when you are good. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. You do even know you are begging. Yes. Okay. Let's see. You know they. Maybe it was just photo trick you are using on me. I didn't say any part here now. The thing, because from when you are far away, you use some photo trick like that, or what is it trick you say? I can't do any pot anymore. My own is even bigger than your own. Maybe I'm the one to be laying hands on you now. Welcome. Thank you for the pleasant surprise. Okay, where did I stop? Okay, let's say you come from Lagos State, that's one state, but let's say you have 30 local governments. So if I'm going to start projects in all 30 local governments, it means I'm going to have, so Lagos State is going to have at least 30 projects in the name of Sunday Adelaja Foundation. That's what we want to do, Sunday Adelaja Foundation. 30 projects minimum in that state. So every local government will feel our presence in Nigeria. So what are the projects? How do we know the projects? We are going to find out from every local government what are the most pertinent needs, what are the most pressing needs. The need in those, let's say they need water supply in this local government. But that local government, their most pressing need is the primary school. Let's say that other local government is the road they need to be repaired. Maybe that other local government is agricultural project they need. So whatever it is, we are going to do research of every local government and determine what are their needs. Now, listen now. So you have 30 local governments in Lagos State. Now we are not just going to touch every local government. We are going to say, okay, you are the head of your own local government, and you know there are 30 of them, but he's just the head of one local government. Then we are going to ask him, give us list of all problems you have in your local government. Women are staying home, they don't have job, but they need to start petty businesses. So they need microfinance. Write it down. Children don't have uniform to school, or they cannot afford to pay for school fees. Write it down. Maybe what are the other things? Crime, you need security. Write it down. Maybe you need cooperatives. Write it down. So he writes down all the needs of the society, and our goal is this, to start from 1 to 100 projects just for that local government. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40. As much as 100. If they don't have as much, good. But if you know, we are ready to commit 100 projects to a local government. That's Lagos State, but they have 30 local governments, that's the problem. So if we do that 100 projects in this local government, what happens to the other local government? Well, the same thing. We'll be ready to commit out to 100 projects also in every one of the 30. So if we now say we do not in 1 year, we could start with 1, then the next 10 years we have up to 100 projects. So it's going to be spread out, right? So if we are starting 100 projects in this local government, and there are 30 of those local governments, how many projects would those be in just one Lagos State? That will be 3,000 local Sunday Adelaja projects meeting the 3,000 different needs just in Lagos State alone. By the time we are through, every family will have had a taste of it, or will be having constant touch with us. That is what we call transformation, national holistic transformation. That is going to be more intense than what the whole government of Nigeria has done since independence. And now, think about this. We have such local governments. We have 774 of them. Multiply that by 100. That is 77, almost 80,000 projects at the same time all over the country. That's what it is. It's a kind of challenge that is working. And that's why I'm going back to Africa. And that's why I know the help I could. And that's why we're going to raise up men. It's not going to be a problem. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And I know it's not a problem. I know how to do it. Some people might think that that's my point. Now you understand why those people think that it's delusion. Good. Do so. So let's continue. Now, see at the analysis we've done. Talk about systems, right? So I need to go to Nigeria. I need to do a system for Nigeria. So who understands what you see? Can anybody come and give a description of what you are seeing right now? It's too confusing for you, right? Give the microphone.
In Abia State, the population is...
You have to stand this way so that they will... Yeah.
In Abia State, the population is 3.2 million. They are
show them where the population is.
Okay.
So the first, tell them the first table, the first column. Yeah.
These are the population, these are the names of the states.
Yes.
These are the population of each state, all the way to Jigawa. These are the number of local governments in every state.
Yes.
If we do 100 projects for every local government, 17 times 100, that'll be 1,700 projects.
No. You just missed something right there. No. Let him say it again. Repeat that and say it again.
There are 17 local governments in Abia State.
Good.
So each local government is going to get 100.
Why are you pointing your fingers down?
Down.
Yeah, why are you taking your fingers down? You don't need to take your fingers down.
Oh.
Because if you take it down, then you go to another one thing, another step.
So there are 17 local governments in Abia. Each local government is going to get 100 projects. 17 times 100.
Then go to the next column.
That's how you get this figure.
What figure?
1,700.
Well, no, you are not on 1,700. You're on, okay. He's showing some, the day is a bit late. Yeah, that's 1,700, right?
So we're going to start the project in 2017. The figures you see here, multiplied in thousands. That's the amount of the project. In 2018, the same amount.
So we have calculated, including the money that's going to be involved for every local government and for the number of projects. Then can you go through the states?
In Adamawa,
how many projects?
there will be 21 local governments. There will be 2,100 projects.
Okay, keep on going. No, just stop on the project.
In Akwa Ibom, there's 4.6 million people, 32 local governments, multiplied by 100, 200 projects. In Anambra, population 4.8, 21 local governments, 100 projects. In Bauchi,
some people, there is something we call the Biafra movement in Nigeria. Because of them, I had to expose my plan. I wrote an article, I don't remember what I called it. I think maybe something, a word for my Biafra friend. I was telling them, I beg you, in the name of Jesus, please give Nigeria before I come. Give me, not Nigeria, give me a chance. 5 years. I have such a plan for Nigeria and for Biafra state, every state in Biafra. That if Nigeria doesn't change, including Biafra people, then you are free to go. But if you go before I come, you will be begging because of what is going to be happening in Nigeria. I wrote an article about it. Because, it's going to be so holistic that the country will change. I don't even need to prophesy. It's just going to be so obviously change. The progress and the development is going to be so rapid. And just for you to know, I have a think tank in Washington, D.C. right now that are working. And this is just a preliminary thing. It's going to be like 1,000 pages of documents. And I have another think tank in Lagos, Nigeria, that are working 24 hours just to study every local government, all their plans, all their problems, and everything. Wow. And I don't want Biafra to go. I don't want the eastern part of Nigeria to go personally. Because personally I believe in. But the Igbo people, they are not Biafra. The Biafra people, they don't represent our people. But I'm talking about not the Biafra, I'm talking about the Igbo people, the eastern people. I believe in them so much. Personally, I believe that I want to invest in two groups of people who are very passionate about it. I believe in my Jebu people. Yes, I believe in the Jebu people. Yes. And maybe because I'm from there, but maybe I'm biased a little bit, but I noticed something in the Jebu people. They are kind of different. From my own analysis. For example, that is Ogun State area, right? Now that state, Ogun State. Now Yoruba has how many? 6 states? Maybe 6 states, and we have 40 million people. In 40-something million people Yoruba, who are Yoruba. But Ogun State is the smallest of all the Yoruba people. But that smallest state, that state has produced all the Yoruba presidents we ever had in Nigeria because of that one state alone. Yes, you never thought about it. There is all the Yoruba president that ever come from Nigeria. They came from that little small estate. Shonekon, whatever they call it. And then Shonekon, is it not from there? Yes, sir. Abiola that they never allowed to rule. Is it not from there? Is it not there? Obasanjo, is it not from there? Obasanjo second time, or is it not from there? So who remains? Sunday Adelaja, is it not from there? The richest black man, the richest black Nigerian, apart from Dangote, is from Ogun State. Adenuga is from there. Oba Otedola, is it not from there? Yes. From there. Shubomi, what was the college? Shubomi Balogun, the owner of what bank? SCMB Bank, is it not from there? So anybody that is who and who in Yoruba land, so something must be happening. So I want to go, yes, it's not just the water, it is the stuff. It is everything. The water, the land, and I can prove that to you. scripturally and preach it to you, the effect of land where you grow and where you walk and the food substance you eat on what you become in life. They are in Ogun State. All the mega churches in Nigeria, Redeem, Deeper Life, all of them, Fire, Mountain of Fire, all winners, all of them are in Ogun State. All of them fire the mountain. So, but if you never challenge yourself, and you never ask that question, you will never know. Because the reason why I started thinking about that was because they claim that they found, an English archaeologist claimed that he found a wall over there that they believe was, they associated with Queen of Sheba or something. They said it is comparable to the work of China, and it is, it is as old as the blocks in England. What do you call those stone heads? Yes. So, and that people did this. So it's one of the United Nations archaeological protected areas, and this is in Egypt. So they are saying, who are the people who live in this area? That there's something special about that. Because they built that thing before they ate something in England. They were saying, and it's as big as the pyramids. And they are worshiping the pyramid people. They say, and this is in the bush in Nigeria. So it's in Ijebula. So they're saying some people have lived there, and I began to examine myself. Because I never, like I said, I never went to Google or like that. If you see the picture of my high school, we don't have walls, nothing. And like I said, I never saw a library, I never saw a laboratory, I never, and then I, just put one or two things together. And all these Yoruba people, I mean, like I said, Yoruba people are many. There are like 50 million people, right? But why are all these people concentrated coming from this little space? Little space. So I personally believe that as a Sunday Adelaja myself, I would have been left. If I didn't win a scholarship, I would have discovered that something like this was in the village. And I for sure that there are many Sunday Adelajas in that land. But they are still buried there. Just I would have been buried there without nothing. So I want to go there and I want to invest in giving opportunities to all of them, so that we will be able to discover more Sunday Adelajas for the world. Are you from there? Ijebu? So now, keep on going. Then the same conviction that I have about the Jebus and the Ogun State people is the same conviction I have about the Igbo people. There is something about it. But those two people, the eastern part of Nigeria and the Ijebu people, and I want to give my best call, especially Anambra people. And Anambra State. I am really impressed. You are from Anambra State. Yeah, you see, one of them is here. Anambra is here. Anambra girl! Igbo girl, Anambra girl. You are Igbo. You are Igbo. Abia State, okay. You used to be Igbo when we met. So that's why I don't that passion. I don't want to be a practical. I don't want to stand on the way because I know what God will do through Nigeria and to, not just those Nigerians, but I'm going to be doing everything, the same thing for all local government, all states. But I'm just revealing my heart cry to you now about those group. I'm biased about those group of people. Yeah. Go ahead.
We stop at Bauchi, 5.5 million, 20 local governments, 2,000 projects. Bayelsa, 1.9 million, 8 local government, 800 projects. Benue, 4.9 million population, 23 local government, 2,300 projects. Borno, 4.9 million, 26 local government, 2,600 projects. Cross River State, 3.3 million, 18 local government, 1,800 projects. Cross River, Delta, 4.8 million, 24 local governments, 2,400 projects. Delta, Ebonyi, 2.5 million, 13 local government, 1,300 projects. Ekiti, 2.8 million, 16 local government, 1,600 projects. Enugu, 3.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Federal Capital Territory, 2.2 million, 6 local government, 600 projects. Imo State, 4.6 million people, 27 local government, 2,700 projects. Jigawa, 5 million, 27 local government, 2,700 projects. Next. Kaduna, 7.1 million people, 23 local government, 2,300 projects. Kano, 11 million people, 44 local government, 4,400 projects. Katsina, 6.7 million people, 34 local government, 3,400 projects. Kebbi, 3.8 million people, 21 local government, 2,100 projects. Kogi, 3.8 million people, 21 local government, 2,100 projects. Kwara, 2.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Lagos, 10.9 million people, 20 local government, 2,000 projects. Nasarawa, 2.1 million people, 13 local government, 1,300 projects. Niger, 4.6 million people, 25 local government, 2,500 projects. Ogun State, 4.4 million people, 20 local government, 2,000 projects. Osun State, 4 million people, 30 local government, 3,000 projects. Oyo State, 6.6 million people, 33 local government, 3,300 projects. Plateau, 3.6 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. River State,
maybe you left it out. Don't worry, we will fix it, we'll fix it. Keep on going.
Plateau State, 3.6 million people, 17 local governments, 1,700 projects. River State, 6.1 million people, 23 local governments, 2,300 projects. Sokoto, 4.3 million people, 23 local governments, 2,300 projects. Taraba, 2.6 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Yobe, 2.7 million people, 17 local government, 1,700 projects. Zamfara, 3.8 million people, 14 local government, 1,400 projects. Subtotal, you can see it in dollars there. There's going to be a Nigeria project office, they have a budget too. Ukraine liaison office, that's their budget. US project office, they also have a budget. The total amount that's expected to be spent in 2017.
No, you don't need to mention.
The population of Nigeria is 61.
Yep. So keep on going. Next page, please. Yeah, give it to me.
Number one, village healthcare clinics. They are vital projects for Nigeria. So number one is village healthcare clinics.
So I'm just using this as an example of projects, right? Like 100 projects. So things like this. Just review an example of it. Yeah, go. Wait, go back. What are these things? These are videos of what they are going to look like. What we have done is that we've done research of any project that we mentioned there. We have videos of how they're going to look like. These are the things we are seeing here on different continents.
Number two project, primary school modernization. 3, secondary school modernization. 4, agriculture cooperatives. 5, energy modernization. Environmental cleanup, number 6. Infrastructure modernization, number 7. Natural resource development, number 8. Entrepreneurship, development and small-scale business, number 9. Rural development, number 10. Transportation, number 11. 12 is services. 13, urban development. 14, skills acquisition centers. 15, affordable homes. 16, security. 17, church reformation. 18, women empowerment through cooperatives, that is widows, petty traders, single parents, and unskilled teenage girls. Reorientation and training for the public and private sectors, number 19. 20, establishing microcredit and microfinance banks. 21, training for present and future political leaders. 22, feeding centers for the extremely poor. 23, rehabilitation centers for the homeless and mentally derailed people. 24, technical colleges. 25, the need for a worldwide network of TV stations and other media outlets for value reorientation of the masses. And unrighteousness in the society, number 26. 27, have an investigation company with detectives for proper on all matters. 28, have public debates and public health. History makers training in secondary schools and universities, intensive bootcamp type of training. 32, symposiums, colloquiums, seminars, and roundtables on national issues. 33, work out a legal agreement with partners and co-workers to avoid betrayals and stealing of projects. 34, set up a think tank and executive teams to work on the realization of all ideas and projects and to develop new ones. 34, set up a publishing and distribution arm of the ministry for Pastor Sunday's books.
Now that create questions and answers on the side on the model with Joshua. So because that's our process.
Transform the books into video games, board games, films, talk show, and TV programs. 36, start a running TV program based on each group. Program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, So program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, business plans.
Maybe it's enough. Or I should continue. Okay, continue the same.
Program where viewers are challenged to write their projects, ideas, business plans on the topic of each book, then submit them for screening, competitions, and financing. The goal is to find people through whom we will turn every book into an institution project, vision, which will later grow into self-sustaining organisms. 37, start a mass educational project on the laws of money based on my book, Money Won't Make You Rich. This will include monthly crusades on the topic, HMT type of training on the weekends and midweek. 38, start mass empowering crusades.
So are you saying system? Who said, are you the blame, we go blame for this one? Are you saying we should do it today?
Says there will be trainings, teaching, counseling, skill acquisitions, prayers, etc. They could be called National Transformation Crusades and conferences. 39, mentorship programs for aspiring millionaires and champions of industries. 40, partnering program with successful businesses and other national institutions where we could all be part owners. That is, owning shares so as to ride on their influences to affect the nation. 41, scholarship and financial grants to high school graduates. 42, scholarship and financial grants to pastors and other full-time ministers. 42, the University of Life project via the internet, social media. Okay, proposed training program that could include the following. An evaluation of the problems of the nation. Where did the wrong value system come from? 2, what are the value systems Nigeria needs for a rapid development? 3, how to get rid of bad value systems and establish new ones. 4, we need a content formation program for a new Nigerian. 5, a comprehensive training that will help people discover their abilities, gifts, and callings. Number 6, train people to take responsibility for social transformation rather than leave it to the government. 7, help people discover the purpose for Nigeria. 8, enlighten the elites.
Sunday Adelaja for president.
8, enlighten the elites or the elite.
You want to put me in trouble? I don't want president. So I'm not interested. I am God's president.
Number 8, enlighten the elite on their role and responsibility before the nation. Number 9, the church needs to be trained to stop abdicating their duties and roles to the unbelievers. Number 10, bringing the awareness of personal responsibility to the Nigerian public. 11, practical training on how to resolve each of Nigeria's...
Just to answer this person that is saying I should run for presidency or something like that for president. I want to say that to become a president is a demotion. Is it? Demotion. It's a demotion. It is actually not just a demotion, but it's going to be counterproductive. It's going to be counterproductive. So, to be a president would be a demotion. I will be coming down from my height. That's what I say. So I'm not interested. running for president.
Okay, number 11, practical training on how to resolve each of Nigeria's myriad of problems. 12, the need to train the populace and government agencies in standards, quality, diligence, and excellence. 13, spheres of influence and how to penetrate them. 14, building systems for change, producing of leaders. 15, train people on how to use NGOs, pressure groups, and other projects to affect the society. 16, train people on how to
So you see that I know exactly what I want to do, what I'm talking about, so I'm not just delusional like people say. But maybe it looks delusional. I'm planning. This is not even, this is just preliminary. This is not even the plan yet. This is not the project. This is just the game we are talking about.
16, train people on how to create developing and training future and present political aspirants for value and quality development in the country.
Okay. Let's put on the light. Okay, we need, no, we need more, sorry. Yeah, please. Let's go to the practical questions people have. Okay. Yes.
Question 1. What is the cost involved for the people traveling with me to Nigeria to participate in the Nigerian Transformation Project? And the answer is, first of all, it will be helpful.
This is all on my blog, by the way. But go ahead.
First of all, it will be helpful if people who are going with me to Nigeria have some of their own resources to fall back on. It will be nice if the person who is going will be able to afford to pay for his or her own ticket, visa, and accommodation in Nigeria. However, that is the ideal situation. I also realize that we don't live in an ideal world, which means there will be people who have the desire to go back with me to contribute to the rebuilding of Nigeria and Africa, but cannot afford the ticket, visa money, and accommodation money to survive in Nigeria. To those people, we'll be able to extend sponsorship, scholarship programs, depending on what they are bringing to the table. I realize that a person might not have money, but that same person could have expertise, skills, or ideas that are needed in Africa, which he will be willing to give and contribute. Second question, purpose of travel and the detail of the program. The purpose of taking teeth with me for the Nigerian Transformation Program is the fact that, as a realist, I realize that one of the reasons why we are the least developed continent in the world today is because we simply don't have enough qualified people in our country. Let's face it, Nigeria today is only 50% literate, which means that human capital is not developed. We don't have enough skilled works and laborers, or skilled workers and laborers, especially those who can build a competitive 21st century economy. The developed countries of the world today rely on the human capacity of 100%. They even import from other countries to contribute to what they already have. How can we...
That's why I'm happy that they elected Trump, so that all Nigerians will come back home.
So how can we...
They shouldn't go to Canada. They should join my team. Don't go back to Nigeria.
How can we as a nation compete when we are only at 50% capacity rate? We cannot compete and build a modern economy. We have to fast-track our human economy by bringing in those who can train our people to jumpstart our development agenda as a nation. We scroll on. Okay, yeah. Talking about 50% literacy in Nigeria, that includes those who are only literate in local languages and those who don't have more than a primary school education, which now puts the English literate people in Nigeria at no more than 20%. Hence, we need a lot of help. A significant number of these well-educated and literate people have moved abroad and are using their skills and education to develop other nations. They must be enticed back to the country to contribute their quota. When I talk about skilled labor, I don't mean university-educated expatriates. I simply mean anybody who knows how to do anything good. For example, some of the white people I'm bringing from Europe don't necessarily have university education. goal for bringing the Europeans is for them to train as many Africans as possible before they go back. My goal of bringing expatriates with me is for the training of people, especially youth. Question 3. Security and safety advice. The people who are going with me to Nigeria are going to be under my care, which means it is my prerogative to make sure that they are protected and secured. This will take a multifaceted approach. First of all, security will have to involve the location. For example, Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, will be a more secured location than Lagos or the Niger Delta region. This will be one of the main factors that will inform where we settle in Nigeria. Secondly, security will also involve means of transportation in and within Nigeria. We hope to procure buses so that most of our foreigners will travel in large numbers rather than individually. Another aspect of security that we want to pay special attention to is in the area of housing and accommodation of our expatriates. We intend to lock them in an apartment complexes or estates where they will all live together in one community. Eventually, we plan to build our own estate where everybody that is connected with the Nigerian transformation team will live as in a city together under the security and auspices of this vision. We need security companies that will be state-of-the-art security details for our people. I am personally aware of the security in Nigeria and making an arrangement to bring with me our one European security detail where we will have our own European security detail where we will have professional coming from Russia and other European countries. They will now be required to train the local security as well. 4. Standard of accommodation, food hygiene, and sanitation. This is a very important question because I have discovered that accommodation, food hygiene, and sanitation could be very important. I personally have had unpleasant situations where after coming back to Europe from Nigeria for the next 1 month, I had to be running to the toilet because of diarrhea. I'm aware that the composition of our food most of the time will include pepper and other spices, which will pose a huge challenge for most Europeans. Having lived in Europe for 30 years, I have come to discover that I am no more able to eat the African food. This informs the reason why some of the people going with me from here will have to be European culinary personnel. Talking about accommodation, the accommodation we intend to provide for people coming from Europe or America with me will be top-notch, at least not worse than what is obtainable in any part of the world. I'm already looking into some options that will be good enough to suit the housing demand of any European country, with consideration for 24/7 water and electricity supply, furniture, clean environment, including swimming pools and gyms for recreational purposes. Style of living, e.g. communal living, as provided above. Number 6, living arrangements, gendered. The living arrangement will be in accordance to the number of people we have and their family compositions. If we have husband and wife and children, they will definitely have to stay together in the same apartment. However, if we have single individuals, they will have to stay in the same apartment with people of the same gender. Two single people might have to share an apartment. Male separate, female separate, but all together in one secured estate. Behavior of traveler. We are going to have definite time of orientation for those going with us to Africa, including some code of conduct that will be read out and studied by all going with us. Some of the code of conduct that might be worth noting right now could be: we will encourage the Europeans to avoid laughing, making jest and ridiculing the African population. There will definitely be a lot of things that will be unfamiliar and look primitive and out of place in Africa. However, the purpose of our visit is to help support and educate rather than criticize, abuse, or exploit. We will advise especially our white friends and colleagues not to travel in isolation, but rather travel in groups and with trusted company. Travelers with children, number 8. If people are coming with us with their kids, we will make arrangements for schools, kindergarten, and other necessary modes of education. Besides, we will advise all people going with us to do all the necessary immunization and vaccination for themselves and their children as required by the Nigerian government. minimum and maximum age limits. The minimum age limit will not be stipulated, especially if people younger than 18 are going with their parents or guidance. However, the maximum age limit does not exceed 65 years old.
Louder.
Okay, so terms and conditions for travelers, see above please. Code of conduct to be developed. General expenses advice. Can we scroll that up, please? Yes. For those who are able to take care of themselves as they go with us to Africa, between $2,000 and $3,000 US will be necessary for a comfortable stay in Nigeria. I would like to say that if you won't be in the position to provide such an amount of money, the Nigerian Transformation Program will be responsible for a lot of the general expenses. Travel arrangements, see above. Any additional questions should be sent to nigeria@sundayadelajafoundation.com. Immobility, circulatory problems, and deep vein thrombosis. People with such situations or other severe health challenges are not advised to travel. Jet lag. For most people traveling from Europe, there will be no jet lag, and the same goes for people coming from Asia. Jet lag will only affect people coming from places across the ocean like America, Asia, and so on. It is, however, easy to overcome, and this should take place within a week of arrival. Flight arrangement. Charter, see above. Visa requirements. Most nations of the world will need a visa for West African countries and West African sub-regions. West Africans are the only ones that might not need a visa. So we are taking it upon ourselves as an organization to arrange visa invitation letters for any potential candidate traveling with us to Nigeria. We will do the invitation and we will work with the embassy to make sure that everyone coming secures a visa to Nigeria and later on a work permit that will allow them to stay in Nigeria for a period of 2 years and above. We strongly recommend that anybody coming in for this project will sign in for 2 years and above to work with the Nigerian Transformation Project. Travel insurance. Concerning travel insurance, some countries require travel insurance to go to places like Nigeria. That could be gotten for as little as $200 and above. Whoever is coming will be able to resolve that question themselves. General health insurance, see above. Travelers Embassy in Nigeria. Concerning embassies in Nigeria, for those coming with us, they will need to get Nigerian visas in Nigerian embassies in their countries or embassies where their countries are attached to.
Or are you still detailed maybe for you? We should continue? Okay, go ahead.
All these questions could be resolved in an ongoing work process. Most of the developed countries in the world have their embassies in Nigeria, so they should not have any diplomatic problems in that regard. Responsibilities of traveler. Those going with us to Nigeria are required to come with their expertise, knowledge, and skills. We also advise such people to volunteer to serve in Nigeria for a minimum of 2 years. We will also ask prospective travelers to develop their project ideas and initiatives such that they could be defended and implemented in Nigeria. Healthcare requirements, see above. Underlying health of the traveler, proof of health requirements. Yes, there's a requirement. We will require that people coming will have a clean bill of health. This is not just a requirement for us, but for the government as well. Hence, we advise you have a medical checkup or health certificate ready for the embassy and visa process. Those who require repeat prescription. For those who require prescriptions, we will advise such people to put a system in place whereby they will be able to have a constant supply of their medications while they are in Nigeria. Such arrangement is better left to the individual traveler. Psychological aspect and health. It is extremely important to have a clean bill of health in regards to mental and psychological state of the traveler. We want to make sure that we are not taking people who will create more problems in Africa, but we are taking people who help resolve the problems in Africa. Mentally and psychologically unstable patients are not recommended to go. Medical consultation before and after, see above. Potential hazards. There are challenges that are awaiting every potential traveler in Nigeria. First of which is 1, the hot weather. 2, the danger of disease in case of lack of immunization. 3, it is important for foreigners to be security conscious and not wander around the country without taking necessary security precautions. Otherwise, Nigeria will be an exciting place for everyone traveling there. Nigerians are some of the most hospitable, entertaining, and interesting people to be around. Vaccination requirements approved. Vaccinations is required by the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so it will be recommended for everyone to get a vaccination before traveling to Nigeria. routine vaccination. As for routine or ongoing vaccination or medical services, there will be provision of medical checkups and services to all citizens, free of charge as long as you are in Nigeria. Selective use for travelers. See above, required vaccinations for Nigeria, same. Okay. Medical kits and toiletries are seen fit by individuals. There you go. All right. Extended friends and family in Nigeria. As for those who have families in Nigeria, we will strongly advise that they put the work of that Nigeria Transformation Project as their focus and priority. Although everybody, so Nigeria Transformation Project will be given the acronym or the NTP anyway, so I'm going to have to pronounce that. Although everybody will be given the right to pursue their own projects individually under the umbrella of NTP, and in some cases under the sponsorship, still our focus must be non-negotiable. Visiting family and friends. Visiting family and friends will be made possible for everyone willing to. Families and friends will also be able to visit upon invitation by the respective relative. Mobility while in Nigeria, understanding the geographic area. We will have ongoing constant guidance and advice from the local Nigerian staff and security operatives. List of essential travel items. This will be as individually see fit. We would like to advise that Nigeria uses electric sockets that are British standard with 3 connecting pins. You may therefore be in need of an adapter. Food and dietary requirements to be cross-checked on the internet. Passport and immigration requirements. See above. Temperature advice, dress code. The dress code will be as required for any mature Christian, men and women.
All right. Yes. Thank you. For those of you who persevered on Facebook, for those of you who are able to stay through, we hope that you were able to enjoy what you saw, starting from the praise and worship from the students and to the presentation. Well, yeah, you have the questions? Okay. Pastor Nkiru is going to read the questions out for us, and I'm going to try to answer them, especially those ones now from the Facebook. Yes, please.
The first person wrote, very good presentation, but where is the funding coming from, and what is the duration of this huge project?
The duration, I think John already answered that question about duration. And concerning where the money coming from, where is the money coming from? Where is the funding coming from? They shouldn't worry. I think the most important thing is for you to know that the funds have already been allocated for all the projects, and the money have already been approved already. So you don't. Is that your problem? Where it's coming from now? I think your problem. You should just know that the money is available, or if it's not available, maybe you could help us.
Okay, yeah. Next question. Another foreign investors going to cash on Nigeria. What is this not be? Why is this not being done by Nigerians?
I'm not a foreign investor. I'm a Nigerian, first of all, and the person that you saw that was doing the presentation is somebody who is my partner, and also, you know, just for the sake of clarity, I could say my employee. He's heading a think tank in America. That's their job. They do research and, you know, projects, and he's the one that, he used to be the project manager for Disneyland, if you people know what Disneyland is. But Disneyland is more complex than building a whole country, you know. So he did that, and when he was younger, before he retired. So he now holding this consultation center and think tank. So we employed them to, you know, work on the Nigerian projects.
Okay,
so it's not a foreign, it's not investment, and it's not foreigners. I'm leading the project. They are just in my team, and also it's not an investment thing. It's transformational thing. Yes, please.
Next question. Has this guy, I suppose he means Mr. John that spoke, has this guy been or know anything about Nigeria? Good luck, sir.
What?
Has this guy...
Does this guy?
Okay. Does this guy... No. Has this guy been to Nigeria or know anything about Nigeria?
Yeah. He, from what you have heard, you should know that he knows one or two about Nigeria. But not just him alone. It's a whole team. Hundreds of people doing research, both Nigerians involved and foreigners, and traveling over there. And, you know, they are professionals in their job.
Okay, next question. Now we are talking. What is their stake and interest?
Who is there? It's just like saying you build a hotel or a house and you put a manager there or a director. You are the owner, but you are paying that director even. Because it's an expert. I cannot manage the house because I'm not an expert. Just like I have staff working in the kitchen here, I have staff driving the cars. I cannot be an expert in everything, but I'm just the head. I'm the one who employed that person you saw. So they are just helping us to get to get me. They are experts in the area. I have experts like that also in Nigeria. I have two think tanks, one in America, one in Nigeria.
Okay, next question. Can Nigerian government be left out of this?
Yes, they are not going to be.
Okay.
This is not a government project. This is a private initiative. It's going to be called National Transformation Project, but the projects are going to be sponsored or going to be in the name of, I think I want to leave a memory, so I'm going to call it Sunday Adelaja Foundation.
Pastor, if I may rephrase that question.
Okay.
Is the project endorsed by the government?
No.
Clarity sake.
It's going to be, we are going to work with them. We are going to work with the government, but we are not waiting for any endorsement. We are going to work with them in what sense? There are some things that we cannot do without their permission. We need government permission in a lot of all these things that are going to be done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Nigeria. I'm going to go with my team, not just the big team, just with the core team and with the financiers and the, to prove to the government that we have the money and we have the plans and we have the projects, and that everybody will be better for it if you people help, and at least don't disturb us, at least don't stand on our way. So yeah, I hope that we'll be able to get them at least not to disturb us.
Okay, next question. Do you have what it takes to fight a whole corrupt country?
I also have God on my side, and I'm not just a human being coming, but I have tried it out already, because I came to Russia when I was much weaker than this. I was 19, We didn't speak the language, didn't know much, even I didn't know God much. But God helped me, and God was with me, and He showed me that even a country, a foreign country, could be subdued under the power of God. So now that I'm much more equipped, much more established in God, and I've had the experience of affecting a whole nation, I think I'm much more ready. And I don't have any problem, frankly speaking. With my experience, I know exactly how to get the government to do what needs to be done. I know exactly how to get this thing. I know exactly what to do with the corruption. It's no problem. You are asking these questions. Are you asking them to help me or what? Yes, if you're asking to help me resolve the problem, and okay, that's all good. But just out of curiosity. But don't worry about it. God is not mistaken. God has equipped me and has been preparing me for 30 years. And that 30 years preparation, believe me, is going to come handy.
Okay, next question. Can I join?
Yes, everybody can join. For all those people who want to join this national transformation movement, you just need to go to my blog, sundayadelajablog.com, and sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria. And you will see, if you go to that section where the Nigerian project is, you will see a form or application so that you could fill out. Just fill out the application, answer all the questions, let us know what you want, in what capacity, and submit it. And when when it's time to start in Nigeria, we'll get in touch with all of you. And so just go and register. I don't know when I'm going to be in Nigeria yet, but I think this year for sure. I still need to, finish my battles here in Ukraine, but I think we are closer than we were last year.
Dr. Sunday Adelaja, can we get a copy of this Nigerian transformation video, please?
Can you put a link, please? We are going to put the link right now. So you could go to YouTube and get the copy.
Okay, next question. What can I contribute? I'm thinking. We need to think first. Nobody's asking what can she contribute.
You can contribute yourself, your skills, and your availability.
Okay. And this one, there is a lady here. She is a widow from Mrs. Lola Sharonke that wrote her name. Phyllis Meek. It's her birthday. And I think we can give a shout out that this platform is what has been keeping her going.
What's her name?
Phyllis Meek.
Phyllis. Is she here now? Most likely, eh?
Platform.
Okay, help us give the shout.
Okay, everybody shout, happy birthday!
Happy
birthday! Phyllis Meek. Shout it now to Phyllis Meek. Happy birthday! Right.
Yep, I'm also joining releasing the grace of God upon Phyllis and the blessings of God on your birthday, that God will visit you with His favor, with His blessings, and with His grace. In Jesus' name. Amen. Now, the link to that video, so this video we just showed, is here already. So if you want, you could go and get a copy of it. Yep. Okay, do we see, maybe there, okay. Is there any other thing being written? Any question from the people who are here?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, so, I know that...
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, okay.
You said, okay, I'm sorry, Sarah? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
My name is Adobe. I have some questions for you. Okay, there are some commercial cities in Nigeria, so I want to know on what your plans are to enhance and develop this sector. Also, do you have any maintenance policy in the long run to back up this project? Okay, my third question. And we are very rich in cultural. We are also very rich in cultural values, so I want to know how you can integrate that to boost our maybe tourism and other things too in Nigeria.
Okay, do you want to start one by one?
Okay, the first question was the commercial industry sector in Nigeria, how you can enhance it and boost
industry, or do you say cities?
We have commercial cities in Nigeria, so I want to know how you can enhance and develop this sector.
Okay. My vision for the cities, help him sit down. My vision for the commercial cities in Nigeria, like Aba, Onitsha, Owerri, Lagos, is very revolutionary, and I'm not going to start with that one because they are going to fight. They are going to fight me. I personally want to eliminate the chaos, the rowdiness, the theft, the deception, and I want to order, law and order. Law and order is one of the greatest source of wealth, especially in the commercial centers. So, but if you go to Onitsha or Aba, everybody it's just like a jungle. Lagos too. I mean, the commercial markets, all those African market systems have to be, they have to be upheld. They have to be totally rearranged, because otherwise we will not be civilized. We have to make them civilized. So what I plan to do is not going to be good for the traders. They are going to protest it. Even when government is trying to bring sanity. You can't hear me, Ben. No, you can bring it back when or no, you can sit here. Yeah. Yes, it's okay. Yeah. So if even if the government want to bring change to either transport system or market system, people always protest and they're always angry. So I'm going to make the finances available, and we are going to bring in the experts to help us bring sanity, to make planning. So we will probably have cities, I mean, what do you call them? Commercial sectors in the city, sectors. So rather than just everybody's trading everywhere the way it is, and then it's going to be more like malls in the West. That's what I say, covered and with stores, with, more civilized kind of trading. Let's have as many of them as possible, but civilized. And then we're going to destroy all those stores that people are building by themselves. So we're going to build things and let them rent and hire. And so that's what I envisage. But I also think that we should build especially in places like, in places where there are innovations and creativity, like Aba, for example. I personally think that we should build all commercial cities and invention cities. Where people who, like a laboratory, not one laboratory, but like a city laboratory. That's my vision. Like a whole city, like computer city. You have computer city. So we want to have research cities like that as well. And laboratory cities, things like that. So those are the things I'm thinking about.
Okay, and the second question is on maintenance policy for the long run, if you have any.
Okay. Maintenance policy. I think John already spoke about that we are not just there to do one shot something and go. before I will die, I will be doing this before I die. Even when I'm dead, systems will be put in place that we are planning right now for at least 50 years. I will not be around for another 50 years. So I will be gone, but the system will still be working. And it will be, we are putting, the money generating system we're arranging is going to last for 50 years. Minimum. Till I die. And then it's going to continue, I hope.
Okay, my third question is on cultural values. You talked about building projects and all that. So I was thinking, is there a way you can integrate the cultural values with the building projects in Nigeria to maybe boost tourism and all that?
Yes. There are different sectors that we're going to be addressing. Like you just heard today, for example, when it comes to hospital modernization or clinics, already approved right now. Maybe we could upgrade it, maybe it could be more, but we already approved 800 million. 800 million, that's almost like $1 billion just to fix the hospitals and clinics in Nigeria. So, but the way that one is going to be done is going to be fixed that almost like, okay, let's say we have 80 local governments. We just have 75, but let's say we have 80. So that would be like what? How much would that be? 100 million per local government. So that's, believe me, that's enough to fix the hospitals. Every local government will have, not every state, every local government will have about 100 million. Then the same thing when it comes to, we also spoke about, what did we speak about? Is it, you mentioned 600 million, what question was that? Is it security or, okay, no, these are emergency needs for unemployment, and not urgent needs like unemployment, poverty, housing. People just who are desperate. We want to elevate poverty and remove people from poverty as far as possible. So for that one, we have, let's say, 600 million just for that one, for the emergency something. That's like saying also 100 million for every local government. So 100 million for every US dollars for every local government, just to make sure that everybody, we have a feeding center that we supply food and things like that, and nobody goes to bed hungry. So also, the thing you are talking about, culture and tourism, yes, we'll also have a budget like that. So that's going to be maybe another 500 million just to help the locals develop their culture. And there will be libraries, there will be cultural groups, folk groups, and things like that.
So does that include architecture,
yes.
in architecture too?
Yes, and it's going to be including the constructions, it's going to be including cultural halls, it's going to be including buildings, yep.
Okay, the next question is on the agricultural development. I want to know, like, I want to know if it is going to be mechanical and involve mass production of both cash crops and food crops, at least to kind of decrease the importation system in Nigeria.
Okay. I don't know if you are aware of the, is it Shongai? They call it Shongai farm? Shongai, yeah. Shongai in Benin Republic. Yes. Have you heard of that model? Okay, you have heard. Okay. You know, it's a whole model, agricultural model, which is the most practical and the most productive, right, the African continent has produced. It's in Benin Republic. It's a Nigerian that is also heading it. So we're going to have the best practices and look for the best models. But the Shongai farm is one of the models we are considering for Nigeria, so that we'll have that kind of farming. Is all inclusive, it's comprehensive. from A to Z. Every kind of thing you could imagine, the most advanced technology, everything. And we want to have this in every local government. Wow. In every local government. Okay. Any other question? Yeah. You can go. Yeah, but you see,
yeah. Okay. My question is, okay, let me say, transforming Nigeria will take a lot to do, and we all know that. And then, for you to build, confidence in people, perhaps you want to rebuild a particular environment, like. You want the place, you want it to Nigeria to be evenly distributed in terms of infrastructure and everything, looking like the Europe or even better. Now, how do you convince an average Nigerian to leave his or her quote unquote comfortable zone to move to a particular building, which you say is affordable, to stay at the moment before you can bring down this structure to rebuild the place? So how would you be able to convince these people? And then would it be that you would first and foremost build a place of residence such that they can be able to afford, like an average Nigerian, a petty trader, to afford that kind of building, for you to erase the building they are already living in to raise another structure? That's number one.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that what I'm doing in Ukraine so far is no problem. That I don't have problem in Ukraine right now, because the real problem will start when I get to Nigeria. When we begin to resolve those problems, that is where my real challenge will be. So there will be instances like that. We are going to be trying to work with the government, with the local governments, and we are going to be working with the local authorities, with the traditional leaders. We are going to be giving incentives to the local people. And I hope that we are going to be able to construct before we destroy.
Someone wrote here, Pastor, the government provided a vast land for research center and asked all the telecommunication firms to build their headquarters and their research outlets there. It is situated at Lugbe, Airport Road, Abuja, close to 100 hectares, yet undeveloped. Is there a possibility of developing it? I believe that's his question. Or are you going to do a new thing?
That would depend on the cooperation we have with the government. If they give us the permission and the authority to use that land, maybe. But we are looking at other options. We already have some proposals from Delta State. A vast land by a Nigerian in America who wants to move back to America. And he already bought the land. And he wants to, that's what he's doing over there, is helping new technologies to come up. So he wants to move back to Nigeria. So we have many options. We are going to look into all of them. We have a state in Nigeria that is proposing land or anything we want. The state governor, I spoke with him, and he wants us to come to his state and use his state as the base. He's going to give us everything we need. But we are going to consider all options.
Secondly, my second question is about transportation system in Nigeria, which is like one of the big problems we have in Nigeria right now. So I'm asking, are you looking at the transportation system in terms of building railway stations, like train stations, to reduce high risk of accidents, and then such that it can accommodate a lot of people and they can pay less?
Yes, we have a Nigerian, and this Nigerian was one of the people you saw in that video today. Today he was in the last HMT, and he has relationship with engineers who build railway lines in America, some of the top ones in California, and metros. So the top engineers was in charge of the whole California building in Nigerians. So all these Nigerians from all over are gathered, and they came up with a project. So they have designed a project to build an effective and modern railway system for Lagos and Abuja, and then for all across the states, interstates all over Nigeria. So I want to bring them on board. They even have, were able to manage to get $5 billion to secure the promise of $5 billion from the American government to help invest in it. But, they couldn't get through the bureaucracy in Nigeria. And the people wanted to bribe, so they just left it and went back to America. So we're going to see what we're going to do about that. But definitely transportation, trains, and metros will be one of the major things we are going to develop.
But Sunday, I know this is obviously a national transformation project, and you are requesting people from abroad to come and help build the nation Nigeria. However, are you considering like the nation, the sibling countries around you, like Ghana, Togo, and the rest? Are they involved, or is it just purely for the Nigerians and for the skilled professionals abroad? Because I haven't heard anything about these other nations. And we feel left out.
Okay. No, there are going to be, people are invited from all over the world, not just from Western nations, but from all over the world. The only condition for anybody coming, either they are coming from the Western nations or from Nigeria, from Africa, is that they must have something they offer. They must, I see a memory here. She's saying, wherever it goes, I'm going. And she's from Namibia. So she's going to be in the team for sure, I guess, if she has registered. So people from all over Africa are going to be having the same liberty and the same freedom to register and join the team. And but they must have some skills or profession that they could add, they must have some value that they want to add to the country, and we're going to help them. But what my strategy is that all people come from other countries, from Congo. I have some people from Congo, Brazzaville, Congo, Kinshasa, from Ghana, who have already registered, from South Africa, from all over Africa, who have already registered. And but my plan for them is that when we all get to Nigeria, that they will get the experience on how it's done in Nigeria, and we will send them back to their countries to head this similar project. Because all this project will just start as a prototype in Nigeria, and they must be duplicated in every African country. So we need them to come so that they will be able to lead the whole process in their land.
So where do people register?
They register on Sunday Adelaja. You might be able to write it for them. Sunday Adelaja blog.com/Nigeria. Sunday Adelaja blog.com/Nigeria. By the way, if some of you have not yet shared this message and shared this link, I think we should all go ahead and share this, especially if you are from Africa or Nigeria. I think the whole of our continent need to hear about this project and need to have an idea of what is waiting and what is waiting for our continent. So please go and share the video, and especially the worship. You might be interested in sharing and hearing that worship. I think it was anointed. So, okay.
Okay. Hi, hello, Pastor. I have a question. I guess maybe I'm partial. I know that you are very interested in inventions and that industry, but I'm in the entertainment industry, and I just wanted to know what kind of things you have in the works for that side of it, both entertainment and just art platforms in general in Nigeria.
very interested in that also, because I believe that entertainment and mass media control the world right now, apart from in Africa where pulpit still controls the world. But entertainment is really, big now. So I believe that my message will be stillbirth and die at birth if I don't involve entertainment and art and media. So I have big plan. First of all, I want to enter Nigeria with a I don't know if I should say this or not, but there are some group of people in Europe and there are some group of people in Europe who are producers and directors, film producers and directors, and they will collaborate with Nigeria film industry, Nollywood, to come up with a documentary about the life of Pastor Sunday. So they will probably be cooperating with some Russian or Ukrainian directors or artists, and they will be shooting in 3 continents, maybe three continents: Africa, Europe, and America. And actors will probably be from all those continents. And so that might be my entry. So when I'll be 50 next year. So this year. So that might probably be dedicated to my 50th birthday, and it's going to be released in cinemas and things like that. So that's going to be media. The first entrance through media will be that one, and television and all that. So but then apart from that, I've got also a prototype, or what do you call it? Yeah, a model or a prototype. It's not a prototype, you call it. What do you call? Huh? What?
Blueprints.
For your art people, if you want to do television program or filming or something, what you call them models? Scripts, yes. Scripts, that's the written one. What about the pilot? What did you call it, pilot? Yeah. Pilot what? No, not the trailer yet. Not the trailer yet. Anyway, don't worry. So let's say the script. So I already have some suggestions, some ideas on how to create a television series or a television show that will be coming regularly, either daily, but instead of me preaching daily like this, maybe we could do something like similar to what opera is doing, with the audience and people on the stage and discussing questions that border on values. So all these things I'm teaching now are also on values, but make it more discussional. So that's one. Then we'll also be doing a lot of, we want to welcome all kinds of ideas that will allow us to bring the values that I'm teaching right now, to bring them out on the regular television. Maybe we'll be paying for them, but to have everyday television, different kind of television programs that will just be demonstrating and broadcasting values. So television is one, movie industry is one. Then we also want to do series. We also want to do series. Just like those Mexicans are doing series, or whoever do series. I used to, Anyway, people do series, like 100 series, 200 series for a whole year or something like that. So those kind of series we want to do, raising challenging problems and crisis problems of the country, and using series to really address them. So for me, actually, everything you've just heard, both what John spoke about and what I spoke about, the roads, hospitals, all those things. For me, they are secondary. For me, the most important reason why I'm going to Africa is for the value systems. So change the value system. So if you give hospitals and something to people, that doesn't change them inside. So my own priority is the value system. And since I need to change the value system, media is paramount.
Someone asked here, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, sir, how can Nigerians at home be part of this transformation and participate? Hands onto the unskilled, I don't know what she means by
that. The same process. The Nigerians at home also must go and register on our blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. I'm sure the link is already there. Go and make sure you register, put your name down, and tell us that you are in Nigeria.
Another suggestion, I do follow your network and often share your links, but it doesn't catch attention like the 30-second or 1-minute viral videos. Please, Dr. Sunday, create short and straight-to-point videos so it can go viral, or please edit some key high points, 30 seconds, 1 minute on every message. Thanks. Somebody's suggestion.
Okay. Caroline, can you write that suggestion down? So you remind me, and Igor also write it down, and tell Joshua also, so that we could discuss it, how to do that sometime.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Clement. Pastor, thank you for this project. I have a question. I don't know if you have any plan as to how to solve the problem of armed robbery and Niger Delta militancy. Thank you.
Those two questions have already been addressed by me. If you go to my YouTube page, or you go to my blog, you just put in Niger Delta, or you put in robbery in Nigeria, armed robbery in Nigeria, or my blog, you will see that I've already answered. I have special video that I did just to answer those. So you can go and watch them.
Okay, someone asked MJ by name. Sir, knowing our country, Nigeria, and the diversity of our beliefs and culture, how do you tend to deal or plan to deal with the issues with the Northerners, the Hausas?
The Hausas are giving me less headache than the Igbos. The Igbos are my real problem, not the Hausas. So if I could get, Hausas, we have problem not with the Hausas, with the Muslims and with the extremists. So, but that's not, it's a less problem for me than the Igbos. I think the Igbo nation, we need to raise up leaders for them, because I'm very sure that I'm not going to be accepted there. So we're going to raise up Igbo leaders. We're going to raise up Igbo leaders. So it's my objective to be able to inspire some Igbo leaders who will become transformational. The number one problem that I think we have with Igbo people are with the Igbo youth, boys. Yeah, most of them are traders, but traders are not even the problem. But the ones who can't find themselves, it's traders too. But the Igbo men, I think that's a crisis. But I'm alarmed that the Igbo people themselves, the elite of the Igbo people, they are governors, they are professors, and nobody's addressing this, and nobody seems to see it. That is a big problem for me. So I think we need to, I'm not going to raise the topic because they are going to attack me. So, but we are going to raise up people to attack, to raise that, to challenge that. Then, the second problem that I'm really concerned with the Igbo nation with is the problem of value system. I think we need to establish strong values fundamentally in the society, in the Igbo society, stronger than money. We want to refocus, we want to refocus the nation to begin to value values more than money, and also to be able to know the difference between wealth and money, and for the nation to be able to value wealth more than money, and also to value more people, human resources, human life than money. So that is the next problem I have. But the next problem, the third problem, I think I have with the Igbo people that I think we must address is the problem of drug pushers. I think if we resolve these two earlier problems, that one will be resolved automatically. If you resolve the problem of boys, the men, and it will resolve the problem of values, I think that one will fizzle out. Then with the northerners, northeastern Nigerians and the Boko Haram people, I think for me it's a less problem. I think, I personally believe that we have the instrument to conquer that. And the instrument is, number one, love. I am going to, by the grace of God, go to those people, those communities, and I'm going to give them offer that they will not reject, that they cannot reject. I'm going to offer to build them anything, to tell me anything they need. So, and we are going to provide for them. If they need mosque, we are going to build mosque for them. If they need hospitals, we are going to build hospitals. And we are not going to say because we are Christian, we don't build mosque. We are going to build mosque for them too. Anything that is needed, we are going to do. Then the second thing is poverty. That is another problem with them. And because of poverty, people are manipulating them, the young youth as well, and booking them to be freedom fighters and Islamic extremists. So if we are going to resolve the problem of poverty there as well, and I think, the problem, I don't think that the Hausa people are the northerners are the big problem of Nigeria. Maybe the elite, but the elite, not just the Hausa elite, the Yoruba elite are a problem, the Hausa elite are the problem, the Igbo elite, all Nigeria elite is a problem. That's another problem too.
Okay, Jide Craig wrote here, please advise if we can submit proposals and where to submit them to for schemes relating to short-term goals in reaching out to communities. Researches have been done locally and there are creative ways in penetrating stubborn or hard-to-reach areas in Nigeria.
Yes, beautiful. For those people who are expecting to join my team in Nigeria, for you to really have relevance and to really be able to play an important role in the team, you need to have your own project. There are different partnerships we are going to have with people going with me. There are people going with me who are just skilled laborers, who are just skilled people. So we are going to be telling them what to do, like the Europeans. But the best people that we really need are the people who already have some projects. Just like John now, he's coming with concrete projects. So we need people who have their own projects, and their own ideas, especially if they're already developed in Nigeria. But there are going to be similar projects also from other people. So we're going to submit all these things for competition, or what they call it, for selection. And only the best will win, of course. So we're going to adopt the best practices. So we will need you to go to the Sunday Adelaja blog.com/Nigeria and go and register it. And then the project itself could be sent to, you just mention, you either, I think we can do like this, just mention the project, that you have the project. Then when the time comes, we will demand for the project from you to send to us, and we'll tell you where to send it.
Good everyone. So my question is this your teaching and plan. It's a very interesting one. I'm sure.
I've not thought today. This teaching.
I mean the teachings, like all these things you talked about.
It was presentation.
Yeah, okay, the presentation and everything, and also the teachings we have been hearing about how we should focus on what not reach and how we should not. Like the words coming from the altar and everything. I'm sure when you go to Nigeria, if it can affect all of us here, I'm sure it will affect people in Nigeria. So are you willing to deal with people? I'm sure after that, people start living their churchy belief and start living all those big congregation and maybe drawing closer to your teaching and everything. So how are you going to deal with adversaries from maybe pastors? I'm not going to mention them, from high churches? How are you going to deal with the adversaries? Like, I'm sure there will be some problems. How are you willing to deal with it and everything?
You know, I don't think the biggest tragedy in Nigeria will happen if people leave churches. I don't bother about that. I don't think that's a big tragedy. It's going to be big tragedy only for people who are gaining from it. But for the real people, for the country, I will not shed a tear. I will not shed a tear. But some people are there that will make sure that I shed tears, because they are going to attack me, they are going to wish me harm, they are going to try to hurt me, and maybe send assassins, and yeah. First of all, how am I going to deal with that? There are 2 or 3 levels of dealing with that. Number 1, I'm going to hide myself in God. Number 2, I'm going to rely on the experience God has given me to be mentally tough. I have tough skin, thick skin. If you have noticed, all kind of things people say about me. Even when I write my own article on my own blog or my people will come to my own page, Facebook page or blog, and begin to just, yeah. It's one thing for you to write anything you want on your own something there or some other public something, but they will come to my own platform. So, but for that you need to be, tough. I think God has helped me over 30 years. I've had all kinds of attacks, and I never come out of them. I've always just changes. Attacks, they only go from the change, but I'm always in them, believe me. So I think that experience has been helpful, and I hope to be able to fall back on that experience as well. But the most important thing is like God. But there are 3 levels, I said. Hide myself in God. Secondly, mental toughness. That I hope to be able to fall back on my experience and focus on what I need to do, focus on God. Then there is the 3rd level of dealing with that. That is, God protects those who protect themselves. It's not with the scripture, but it's just a wise saying. People say. That means I'm going to also be aware and take security serious. Now, I'm not in the category of those preachers who say that God will protect. God can protect, but God also expects us to do our best. So I hope to be able to go to Nigeria with security men from Russia, maybe from Europe, maybe from America. Not just for my own protection, but for my team's protection as well.
Hello everyone, this is Gift once again. Pastor, I want to ask, for every economy that is growing, or for every economy that is facing recession, there's always hunger and poverty. And this is like a major problem, because for everything, even if you have all the money, you want to build a particular road and all that. When there's hunger, people don't look at those things. They will cry out and say, give us food, we want. Because it's like we have to live for us to enjoy what you are about to build. So do you have projects for... you have projects to have something in stock that will sustain the economy for a period of time, that you have to build this economy to a standard that you are expecting it to be. You have a reservoir such that can sustain this economy to this extent. Because if really you have all this project being carried out, when the people are hungry, they really don't care if that project is going on or not. And again, I want to ask, will you have an alliance with the government such that they can scrutinize, because I know for any economy, scrutinize, I'm coming. Yeah. Will you have an alliance with the government when, because I know for any economy that is facing hunger and poverty, other countries tend to, feed in that economy, like bringing in fake drugs, fake food, such in a cheap prices, and such that will be harmful to the health of those individuals. So they can make money from that harmful from that economy that is going through recession and building. So do you have people in health industry, in other systems that can work with the government agencies to scrutinize importations of goods and services that are being brought to Nigeria while this period is going on, for the health of the individuals of Nigeria?
First of all, I want to commend you that you are so detailed and that you are, I like your reasoning and your thinking thought process. And I want to use the opportunity to congratulate my friend, Pastor Clement. Glory. You used to tell me that you are special before you came here, that you are special, that you are very smart. I thought you were only special because you could sing so well. But I see that you go beyond singing, that you are really special indeed. So thank you. Well, first of all, what I want to say is that we are not going to replace the government. So I'm not going to take the duties of the government on myself. But what we are going to do, you touched on something, all those problems, like the one you just mentioned now about fake drugs coming in and things not working and people hungry and all that. We are going to have a totally different approach. That kind of problem you are mentioning now, there will be thousands of them. So drugs, fake drugs coming in, hunger in the society, hospitals not working. There will be roads not fixed, traffic congestion, bribery, corruption, or hospitals not treating people. There will be, in Nigeria, just inundated with problems. So, but I have a strategy for that. And it's a pity that this HMT, we didn't do presentations for you of how I've able to handle questions like that in Ukraine. But basically what it's going to be is this. I am going to raise up a people. My biggest strategy is going to be to use human resources. So I'm going to raise up an army. I'm going to raise up a strong nation of people that will be burdened. I'm going to help everybody to discover their burden and their passion. Once they have discovered that passion and burden, they must know whatever they want to change. So I'm going to gather all those people who have decided to change something, and they know what particular. Let's say somebody say, I want to resolve the problem of traffic congestion. That is his own line. He must be ready to give his life for that one. Let's say another person wants to resolve the problem of maternity death. That is our own or his own, question that he is living for. So he must live for that. And not just by himself, he must set up a team. We will teach him how to do that. So all these people that are, let's say, my goal right now is to have 10,000 of these questions, of these problems. And 10,000 organized, not just individuals, because there might be different people doing the same question, but 10,000 NGOs, civil societies, will be raised up. Each single civil society will be tackling its own particular area where the burden is. So that is how. So they are going to be the ones checking the pharmaceutical shops and chemists and checking the quality of the. So it's not going to be me or the government. They are going to be societal groups. So they are going to be the ones, there will be every, like you in this hall now. If I say, what do you have bought in for? All of you have it. But that I will have to train you. This one training is not enough. I have to give you intensive training so that you'll be addicted like me. And once you are addicted, then it means you are ready to die. Because one thing with me is I'm ready to die. So we must raise up people who are ready to die. Just like that, Dora Akinyele. Yeah, she was ready to die. That's why she could make a difference. Akinyele. But it's her husband's name now.
Yeah.
Aki.
The husband is from my town.
Aki.
Akunyele. Yeah.
So Akunyele. So she was someone like that. So we want to raise up at least 100,000 people like that will be ready to die. But we are too critical. I mean, that's a critical army. We are too many. So once we raise them up, then we are going to help them to set up systems and structures, so that and platforms, so that every one of them will have a platform and a voice, and that platform will now, be elevated. Will help them also to make those platforms recognizable and strong, so that we'll be able to lobby, we'll be able to put pressures, we'll be able to get our goals met.
Dr. Sunday Adelaja, you taught us that we should convert our time, space to wealth. You made a mistake, that's not right. So if anyone is bringing their time, are you willing to pay them for selling their time? That's the question is asking.
Okay. Definitely. Anybody that is going with us to Nigeria is going to be compensated for his time, for his energy, for his investment, and for his work. So definitely we are not, if we are coming from another country, we are going to see the proof of what you are receiving right now. What is enough for you to take care of your family, either they are in college or whatever, and we are going to, pay you enough to be able to do what you need to do without worrying about money.
Okay,
so we are not going to take advantage of anybody. Everybody is going to get paid for what they are going to do. They are going to be volunteers as well. But if you are going to full-time want to work for this, then you are going to pay for it.
Someone here is talking about music. Have you answered the question? Okay. Sir, how do we intend to change the music industry, especially if they can be used as a tool to promote the value systems?
Okay. I have a plan for that, a program as well. One of the things I want to do is that I want to go and get acquainted. I know one person who knows some of the entertainers, like the Okoye brothers and the Davido and people like that. Whatever. There's another Wiz something. Yeah. So all those, So all those people, I think I'll find a way to get them. I want to get the top 100 or the top 50 or the top 20 artists in Nigeria, and I want to strike a deal with them or enter into a contract with them. First of all, I want to try my best to convince them that they are already good, so they don't need promiscuity. Is there promiscuity in their videos and all that? So I just got introduced to them a few months ago by Layo. I didn't know them, but I know that Nigerian music is doing well, but I never saw them. I didn't even know any one of them. But the only one I knew was the one that sang the African Queen, because I like the song. Yeah. But they said there were many more new ones, and so I want to be able to meet with all of them, and they have talents. I want to be able to convince them that we should put values and value systems in our videos and in our songs, in our renditions, and what we do. So I want to have communication with them and have a dialogue with them. That's one thing I want to do. And the second thing I want to do with them, I want to pick the top 10 musical, musical clips that have been done in Nigeria. I want to ask for the budget, how much that is costing. Whatever has become a hit, international hit from Nigeria. What song is that? I know African Queen is one. Yeah. What? Which other one? That is international. That from Nigeria, any song, anyway, anybody that, I think the Okoye brothers have been able to hit international. Okay. Yeah, so anyway. Okay. So anyway. So I hope to be able to gather them and make a deal with them. And the deal I want to make is that the same way they have been able to hit international, because this is predictable. There is a budget, there is lightning, technique, they have their algorithm, their formula. So if I want to propose to them a deal. If I give you the money, the budget that will be good enough to be able to make a hit, as big as who are the international? Michael Jackson has died. Who are the other people who sing? Beyonce? She sings? Is she a singer? Okay. Okay, if Beyonce is a singer, is she not? Yeah, so, okay, if they are the singers, the people who are known, so, yeah, if they are the people who are known, I want them, the Nigerians, to also be able to, if we provide you the budget, will you be able to do a hit for God? With words, glorifying God, but so that it will cause every continent to sing it, giving praise to God, even if they are not aware. Then I want to do the same thing on the world. I want to go to every continent, find the top, just like in Korea, one guy is dancing. There is a dancing guy in Korea that got a very, very popular one time. Yeah, something style. Yeah, so someone like that, if we are able to sponsor the project, would they be able to do so? Let's say the top pop guy singing from Africa, singing about Jesus and making it big, the top one in Asia, the top one in America, the top one in Europe, and cause the whole earth to praise our God. So I have a lot of plans for this, yeah.
Okay, there's a good question here. Pastor, will there be a channel for financial contribution to the project? I trust my pastor not to solicit for funds, but we will contribute by force, maybe via the various NGO channels you have mentioned. Some of us in diaspora need to be part of this movement somehow. Lola, Favor, Aderemi, Owolabi.
Okay, Lola is her name. Nope, we don't need money. I don't need money. I don't need contribution. If you want to contribute, go to your village and help them. If you want to contribute, go to where you are coming from. See anybody in need in your village, in your vicinity, and find a way to help them. But I don't need any contribution.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Cornelia, and I'm from Ghana. And I have a question. My question is, because most African... Question.
Are you Ghanaian? Anastasia, stand up. She is Ghanaian. What is it called? What are you trying to say?
It's question.
No, wait. Let Anastasia. What is it?
It's question.
No, wait. No noise. Anastasia, you've been living in England for how long?
For 20-something years.
Okay.
24.
So who knows better, you or the lady there? I think it's by the McDonald who knows better. Because is it English?
And also, I was born in the UK as well.
Yeah, you are sorry?
I was born in the UK as well.
You are born in the UK as well. So you know how it's pronounced.
Yes.
So if that is that an English word you are trying to say? No, wait. Is it an English word? Word. Okay. If it's an English word, the way English word is supposed to be pronounced, wait. If it's a Ghanaian word, then I would need interpretation. But if it's an English word, there's another Ghanaian who also was born in England and knows English word and how to pronounce it. Let that coach us how to say it.
It's question. Question.
But what did she say?
Question.
Question. She said question. Is that the way some Ghanaians do it? Let's ask her a question.
Okay, so there is a problem I realized with Africans, especially when we have like there is okay, there is a problem associated with Africans, and that is when we have free projects or the government comes up with projects, maintenance is mainly a problem because we get them free. We did not invest our time, our resources into them. Nobody wants to take responsibility. So you see this project have been done, but at the end of the day, over some years, due to negligence, they kind of die out or we cannot see the seeds. So I wanted to ask, is there a way, I'm sure the project might have certain names, like a specific name on them to differentiate them from the government project. But apart from that, how would you invest into the people to take up initiatives to build into those projects so that from the local levels, they would be made to take responsibility before the higher levels see to the checks of this project?
Deal to the checks?
No, before higher bodies or organizations see to, the smooth running or the control, of the project.
Thank you, madam. What's your name again?
Cornelia.
Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Sorry I'm not trying to embarrass you with my questions. So it's by an attempt to, in a funny way, try to let you know how it is done. Because all of us have challenge with our pronunciations. Nigerians especially. And all of us pronounce any way we want. And I never spoke English before I left Nigeria. I never spoke English. So I'm still learning up to now. I only used to speak Yoruba before I left Nigeria. I never once spoke English. I only spoke English one time for one sentence. So you wonder, how did I come out of the country then? I never spoke English. I couldn't speak English. I knew English, but I never spoke it. No opportunity to speak it. Nobody to speak with. And I only studied it, and I was giving exams, because in Nigeria, you don't need to speak to give exams. So I was giving exam and passing. It was I was really good in it. English, literature, but I never spoke it. So, but when I came out of Nigeria, nobody to speak Yoruba with. And now I forgot Yoruba. But still, I'm still learning English. So, Cornelia, beautiful question, because there is that problem you pointed out. Maintenance culture is lacking in Nigeria and in Africa in general, but that's why I need the expertise that I'm taking from Europe and from all over the world to Nigeria. We are going to make them to teach us how to have maintenance culture. So if we cannot find our Nigerian people, our Africans who will be able to maintain the things that we construct, we'll put the white people there until they're able to help us raise up our people. We just need to develop that culture. We all could learn. We all could learn these things. And there are a lot of Nigerians or Africans who are overseas too, who have experience in these things now, that we could come back as expatriates and help.
I wanted to ask about the import-export business that you were talking about just yesterday, about how cassava is 3 trillion of the annual, the cost, yes, the budget. So are we, or is the organization that you're going to lead have such plans for exporting stuff more than importing?
Beautiful question. Because right now, all our money from export are only coming from oil. So we have problem with export. But, you know what, like I said, that I'm going to raise up an army of people, a nation of people with their burdens. I'm going to help everybody discover their burdens. So most likely, that might be one of the burdens that will come into the heart of one of the people that will be attached to us. So anybody's burden, any burden that anybody has, we are going to facilitate and help them. And I'm sure that that is an important one, because without it, we will not have foreign currency. I'm writing a book right now called Nigeria Economy, The Way Forward. So that book is going to talk about other ways we could get foreign currency without apart from oil. So big question, and I'm already dealing with it theoretically in my book, but we have to really be able to do something about it in the physical, and we're going to be behind that.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I don't know if this thing happened in other African country, but I've come to realize that there's this little thing that people don't pay attention that happens in Nigeria, my country. People don't respect environment. Now, somebody can buy something, eat, and then drop it on the floor. So it's like a problem. If we build Nigeria to what standard, and then people are not being taught of environment, to be conscious of the environment and how to keep it, the environment to be neat, I think it's going to be a big problem, because it's just going to be like our father have been doing it and it's not a problem, so we just eat and dump the thing there. Because I observe it doesn't happen in most European countries. People are conscious. No matter how little that paper is, you put it in your bag. And when you get to a trash can, you put it there. So I don't know if this foundation have instilled these laws or ways to teach people on how to maintain their environment.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be, I'm sure, one of the areas that somebody will have a burden for. You see, anything that anybody has a burden for is going to be empowered, is going to have build an organization around that passion, around that burden, going to have a team around that burden, going to have a budget around that burden, and is going to have a voice around that burden. And definitely we're going to address, those are individual questions that, don't worry, just make sure that the questions are there, we know them, and then there are people who might have burden for them. Any question, any problem that Nigeria has will be our problem. Okay, in this problem, I'm talking about the country has a cultural, a value system problem. That is a value system problem. That's the biggest problem we're having. So I think I did a good, I mean, we have done enough. Frankly speaking, I just need to go to the toilet. So I'm going to say bye-bye to everybody. So, thank you, everybody.